It's May and we are observing Child Month under the theme, I Soar. I strive to overcome adversities with resilience. Soar. If you look at it, this is a strong theme. Children, regardless of whatever you are going through in your lives, you can still come out victorious. God may be putting you through a test of faith, and it is up to you to overcome the challenges or obstacles that are preventing you from being great. Parents, use this theme as a guide for your children and teach them to be their best selves. And on that note, welcome to another edition of Jamaica Magazine. I'm Theodore Henry. Stay tuned.
What do you need to know about masks for your children? You want to ensure that the mask fits your child snugly, as in it covers their nose, their mouth, and it fits neatly at the side of their face, no gaps. You want to get your children some washable, breathable mask made of fabric. You want to ensure that they carry an extra mask with them, because once that mask gets dirty or wet, they will need to change the mask. When they get home, you want to ensure that those masks are washed and ready for the next day or the other day to come. Also, remind them that they need to wash their hands when they're putting on the mask and when they're taking off the mask. And as much as possible, they should avoid putting their hands at the center of their mask. If it is that they have to make any adjustment to their mask during the day, it's important that they either wash their hands or use their hand sanitizer. Mask wearing is a new normal. Let's get it right.
Today on Get the Facts, we join the Director of Licensing and Registration at the Betting, Gaming and Lotteries Commission to look into the entity's operations, more specifically, licensing renewal activities.
Welcome to Get the Facts, the program that provides you with information on the government's policies and initiatives. I'm your host, Vaughn Davis, sitting in for Enthros Campbell. Today we'll be talking about the Betting, Gaming and Lotteries Commission, the BGLC, and their annual gaming license renewal activities. We have with us in studio Mr. Maurice Thompson, Director of Licensing and Registration at the Commission. Mr. Thompson, welcome to the show. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you, Vaughn, and I'm really happy to be here this afternoon.
For the benefit of those who may not be so familiar, let's start by talking a little bit about the BGLC's mandate and its mission.
All right, so the BGLC has three primary mandates. I'd like to put them in order. One is to protect the customer's interests, and the customers are the persons who participate in all gambling activities. Two is to ensure that the gambling market is developed in a structured and disciplined manner. Mm-hmm. And three is to ensure that opportunities are there for entrepreneurs to invest in the market in a fair market, and all the opportunities are there for them to invest in this market, lucrative market.
All right, fantastic. Now, Mr. Thompson, this time of the year, March into April, is usually a busy period for the BGLC and the different segments of the gaming industry, correct?
Correct.
Right. This is regarding the renewal of licenses. Now, talk to us about the process. Of renewing the licenses for the different segments of the industry, and for persons who need to have their license renewed. Tell us about that.
All right. So the process. You're correct. March 31st, most licensed gaming machine license, bookmakers permit, persons who do sports betting, those licenses expire by March 31st of each year. Persons need to renew their license on or before March 31st for getting themselves eligible for the next period. Persons would have already had a license, so they are instructed, directed to go to the Commission's website, get the forms, complete the application forms, which they would have already been familiar with previously. Because of the COVID restrictions this year, a number of new opportunities are coming where persons don't have to, that face-to-face interaction has been reduced. So persons can pay, after paying the TJ, Tax Office Jamaica portion of the fees, they can either pay the Commission's portion through the Commission's bank account, or for the first time in our history, pay at any Bill Express outlet. Get those two copies with the complete application. They can either use a Dropbox to drop the application off, or they can use a courier to send in the application.
All right, so you went through a couple of things there. I would like us to slow down a little bit and talk about the different documents that you'll need and the different fees and so on that you have to pay. So let's go slowly and just talk about the individual things that they'll have to do as well.
So the primary license application is to be the gaming machine operators. That represents not the most lucrative, but in terms of numbers, our biggest demographic. Persons, one first must be directed to the website where the application must be filled out. After filling out the applications, the fees are paid in two portions. One, TAJ, Tax Administration of Jamaica, and the BJLC. The TAJ fee can only be paid at any TAJ offices. However, the BJLC fee, which previously you had to come to the commission to pay or pay through the commission's account at Scotiabank, can now be paid at any Bill Express location island-wide. Having had paid those fees with your completed form, you put those together, you can either drop it at the commission where a Dropbox facility is in place for licensee, or you can send in those documentation through a courier and your applications will be processed.
So are there special requirements or criteria that persons have to meet before making applications for licensing, and what kind of, and the related fees and so on? Are there particular requirements of individuals, operators, and that kind of thing? Speak to that for me, please.
All right, so for new persons entering the market, you have never entered before, there's a particular requirement. Persons must be fit and proper. So the prerequisite to enter the gaming market as a vendor or a licensee, you must pass a fit and proper. So if you haven't done a fit and proper, we won't be able to process your license. So that represents the first step in terms of getting into the gaming business. Having done your fit and proper and gotten a license, that renewal process now involves just completing the forms, paying the requisite fees, and submitting those forms and fees to the commission for renewal.
All right, so talk to me a little bit about that fit and proper for persons might be curious, because it does indeed sound very intriguing. What does that entail?
So the fit and proper exercise speaks to the commission looking into your background as it relates to your criminal background. A police record is needed. Your financial background. What's important for us at the commission is that the funds that you're using, your source of funds to get into the industry. For example, you want to buy some gaming machines. We're interested to know where were the source of funds to acquire these machines. So the commission will investigate where you get their funds from. It also speaks to your character. So we'll also do personal interviews with persons that you have worked with or lived nearby. Our law, the Betting Game Lotteries Act, doesn't allow us to grant you a license if you fail this process. All persons who enter the market must first pass a fit and proper test.
Indeed, well said. Now, let's take a quick break and come back for more on these crucial activities that underpin the operations of the betting and gaming industry. Stay with us.
The government of Jamaica is introducing shared corporate services to revolutionize the way it operates. Shared corporate services will utilize the latest technology, leaner processes and service standards to drive efficiency and effectiveness in the public sector. The Transformation Implementation Unit is working to streamline public services in 7 operational areas: human resource management, information and communication technology, asset management, procurement, finance and accounts, public relations and communication, as well as internal audit. Shared corporate services is a tried and proven way of improving the delivery of public services. The government of Jamaica is transforming to serve its citizens better. We're building a better public sector for all. Brought to you by the Transformation Implementation Unit.
Welcome back to Get the Facts. We're talking about the BJLC and its activities that ensure fair and legal betting and gaming on the island. We're talking with Mr. Maurice Thompson, Director of Licensing and Registration at the BJLC. Welcome back, Mr. Thompson. All right. So what are some of the consequences where license applications are not submitted to the BJLC by the date of expiry? What are the penalties and when do these penalties apply?
All right. So penalties are twofold. The less severe penalty is a you have to pay a penalty on the fees due, which can be up to 60% if you miss all of last year, and it can be as low as 50% if you miss the first quarter. So if you pay after June 30th, you pay a 15% additional fee on it. If you miss a complete licensing period and come back after 1 year, you'll pay 60% in addition to the fee last year. But that's the least of the problem. The bigger problem is your fit and proper. Having not complied with the conditions of your license, which states that you must renew your license on or before March 31st, the person runs the risk of losing your fit and proper status. And as I alluded to earlier, if you lose your fit and proper status, it makes you ineligible to operate within the industry.
Big problem.
And that's it, and that's a major problem.
All right. So is there any consideration given to persons who are having a little bit of difficulty in getting their licensing in order and getting documents and so on? What kind of advice or support does the BGLC provide?
So at BGLC, we've always understood our customers. We've all tried to understand our customers. So we ask that persons, if and when the date is coming around for renewal and you realize that there's an issue, the first thing you need to do is write the commission, inform the commission of the challenges.
Contact you.
Yes, contact us as soon as possible, and we will work out any issue you might have. We'll work it out with the person or persons.
I'm sure they'll appreciate that. I'm
Yes.
sure they'll appreciate it's not a draconian situation.
And a number of persons have called on the commission from time to time, and we have assisted. And especially in this pandemic time, we understand, especially a lot of the premises that house machines, bars and nightclubs and so on, because of the restrictions, a lot of those premises were closed. So we understand persons might have challenges in terms of finding suitable locations. All we ask is for the persons to just inform the commission. We see ourselves as a partner. We want to help you and assist you.
Right, so both can partner together and make sure that the system works
for everyone concerned.
All right, so now having gone through the process and gotten their license issued and so on, what are the specific responsibilities of each operator to make sure that they're working within the ambit or within the regulations that are outlined by the BGLC?
All right, so as I spoke to, one of the main mandate of the commission is to ensure we protect the persons who play. So persons who play gambling activities that license, you must ensure that the premises is licensed. One of the things that you can look for, the license must be conspicuously displayed on the premises.
Right.
The machines that you play also needs to be licensed, and each machine has a license disc, similar to the license disc in your car, that indicates the year. So for example, for this financial year, you'd see a disc on the machine, 2021. It means the license expires March 31st, 2021. For next year, you'll see 2021, 2022. It means the license expires March 31st, 2022. The Commission also has a list of licensed premises that are put on the website. So persons, if you live in St. Elizabeth and have any concern about whether our premises is licensed or not, you can go to the Commission's website and find out. And if even that fails, you can always call the Commission to find out if a particular premise is licensed. So that's the risk. The responsibility of the owner is to ensure that the licenses are displayed. Only licensed machines are on your premises. So I give you an example of one. So you license 5 machines legitimately with the Commission, but you think that you're going to squeeze 2 unlicensed machines on the premises.
2 extra ones.
2 extra ones. That is going to impact your fit and proper status going forward. Okay, so your responsibility is to ensure that whatever the conditions your license is, you're licensed to have 10 machines at this premises A. Premises A must be licensed, and 10 machines on all the machines on the premises A must be licensed. If for whatever reason you want to move in the machines can be transferred. It must be done in a legitimate manner, and you must ensure that those machines are transferred in a legitimate manner. Because a machine licensed for premises A and move to premises B without the requisite transfer being done, it becomes an unlicensed machines.
Okay.
Or the machines are licensed to a particular premises. Yes. So the responsibility of the operator is to ensure that, as I say, we're not draconian, and we understand the market. So if you have identified a location that you think is the more lucrative location, all you need to do, it doesn't even cost you.
Just contact the BGLC and make the necessary arrangements. Now, I'm thinking it would be in the best interest of persons who come to these establishments to make sure that the machines or the boxes or whatever they are using are licensed. Would there become an issue if I use a machine and there becomes an issue with I have a challenge with the owner, operator or something, and then I find out that the box or the whatever is not licensed?
Right,
What would the issue there?
So when we started the conversation, I spoke to our mandate, and the first mandate that I always try to tell persons is to protect the persons who play machines. So whether you buy a lottery, gamble machine, horse racing, or sports betting, our mandate, our edict is to protect you, the persons who participate. If you go to a premises that is not licensed, and if you play machines that is not licensed, we can't protect you.
Yeah, I think that speaks for itself.
Okay. So I think that is clear for everybody. So if you want the protection from the BGLC, you participate in gambling activities at premises that are licensed by the BGLC. We can't help you if you gamble outside of the premises that are not licensed by us.
All right. So on a related matter now, how does BGLC ensure that persons are complying with the regulations and the license and the terms of their license?
Okay. So we have a compliance department, and subsequent to the license being issued to persons, the compliance team goes out into the market, one, to ensure that the licenses are displayed in a conspicuous position within the location, and two, that the number of machines that are licensed for particular locations matches the number of machines that are actually there, and that the discs are on the machine. Because what I find, Vaughn, is sometimes persons will license machines, we give them the disc, they take the disc, and before they reach home, so you're in Westmoreland, you pick up your disc in Kingston, and before you reach on the disc, you leave the disc in your car, and for months after. That's also a breach of the conditions. So the Commission's compliance team ensure that the disc all the discs are placed on the machines, because the disc is what the consumer, that's the only thing the consumer can use to know if this machine that I'm playing has been licensed by the operator.
All right. So switch tack a little bit. Let's talk a little bit about some of the BGLC's corporate social responsibility activities. Talk to me about the different ways in which the BGLC helps to give a hand and lend a helping hand to members of the community.
All right. So our two major outreach programs is the scholarship opportunities that we provide to Jamaicans tertiary level students. I think since 2014, we have done over 1,000 students in this education program. And the other program is the Rise Life, the addiction alert. The Commission considers, we regulate gambling, but we want gambling to be done in a responsible manner, meaning adults who gamble should not do it, risk their savings, their livelihood, their families, and nobody, person under 18 should gamble. So we are the 100% sole financier for Rise Life Jamaica, where we provide in that addiction tip helpline support for persons. So we have programs within gambling operator organizations that we provide training for the persons who work in gambling establishment, for them to identify persons who they might think might have a problem. And there are programs where persons can withdraw themselves voluntarily from programs, because it's not about the taxes, the fees, and the money alone. We understand we have a bigger purpose, and as we say, gambling must be done in a responsible manner, and that is what we promote: responsible gaming at all times.
All right, so Mr. Thompson, for persons who may want to get more information about the licensing process and the related documents and so on, where can they go to get more information?
As it relates to the licensing documents, persons can get all license-related documents at www.licensing@bglc.gov.jm. In terms of the wider BGLC programs and so on, they can go to www.bglc.gov.jm.
All right, fantastic. Well, gaming operators and owners, over to you. The ball is now in your court to do the necessary things to ensure that your machines are licensed when the current licensing period expires and the new one begins. All right. Now, that's where we're going to end today's conversation. I'm sure we've left many persons much more edified about the role that the BGLC plays in wider society and the different ways in which they impact our gaming industry. This has been Get the Facts. Our guest today was Director of Licensing and Registration at the Betting, Gaming and Lotteries Commission, Mr. Maurice Thompson. For more information on the BGLC's licensing requirements, visit their website at bglc.gov.jm. Until next time, I am Vaughn Davis. Thanks for watching, and please take care.
Inclusivity is important here in Jamaica. With our children being our future, we have to ensure that they are equipped to achieve their full potential. The administration at the Licensed Center of Excellence in St. Thomas is doing just that for a special group of children.
The Licensed Center of Excellence caters to students post-primary, 13 years and up, who have been assessed and who have been diagnosed to be on the intellectually disabled spectrum. That means they're either mild to moderate. The Digital Foundation was kind enough to give us this wonderful school so St. Thomas can cater more to these children who need special attention. This institution opened its doors September 2017. We have a wonderful team here. We have teachers who love children. We have an administrative and an ancillary staff who loves children. Most naturally, the campus coordinator loves children. So we are here catering to the needs of these children because we believe in adding value. These children have a lot to offer, but you can only unearth it with patience, with love, and with care. Because if they don't trust you, you can't win them. And so, we want these children to be independent. We want them to contribute to their families, to their communities, and the society at large. And so we're preparing them for the working world. So at the Licensed Center of Excellence, we are skill-based. There is room for improvement, and we welcome the hands to share so that we can care more. We offer theater arts. Yes, the children can do a little. We communication. We do math, but not the math you know of trigonometry. No, we are teaching them how to balance their books so they know a lot of measurement and of course money. We offer to them home economics, food preparation, and a little clothing and textile. As you walk around our lovely campus, it's green vegetation. So we do a little bit of agriculture and we're able to give to our kitchen, and the children can get to take home. Of course at a cost, because we're teaching them that everything comes with a cost, because we need money to do other things. My students are interesting and we listen to them. One boy said to me, "Miss, me no want the way you do the school and I'm want to fill your block." And so I went out into the wider community and we're actually teaching our students how to lay blocks, and they're enjoying it. In special, a lot of emphasis is placed on life skills. And life skills is taught in all the subject areas with extra emphasis coming from the guidance departments. So of course, Licensed Center of Excellence is the place to be.
Has anybody ever played hide and seek? My classroom is a corporate space. I facilitate learning. My students learn from each other. They help each other during the learning process. Enabling them, I make certain that I encourage them that there is nothing that they cannot do. And the motivation that they get from being a part of my classroom, the fact that we differentiate learning too in there and tiered activities are used, it makes no child feel left out.
What I love about the Licensed Center of Excellence, it's a level playing field. We exclude no one. So all activities, if it means you're to get assistance, be it from a classmate, a teacher, or from an ancillary worker, you're going to get the assistance because we believe in excellence. Excellence for all.
This pandemic has caused lots of changes to our everyday life, and for some, it has given us a bit more time on our hands. It's time that we can use to self-reflect and reassess, or to find our purpose in life.
Develop a sense of purpose that says you're not here by accident. You are here for greatness. You are here with destiny in mind. You are supposed to do something great, and you are on that pathway. There are persons who are in the departure lounge of life, at the end of their life, and they look back and they have regret because they never took time to uncover and develop a sense of purpose. Why am I here? What am I supposed to do before I leave this 7 billion people planet called Earth? What am I supposed to accomplish? Having a sense of greatness that's in you. You're talented, you have gifts and abilities. Some of you are good with numbers, some of you are good with words, some of you are good with both, some of you are artistic, creative, some of you are sports oriented, and there are many things. And you take time to discover what are you passionate about. What can I just do naturally? I can jump out of my sleep and do it easily. Speaking now to your talents and abilities, your giftings. All of these come into your sense of purpose. The things that you are to do in life as you are to impact people. When you dream, when you close your eyes, what do you see yourself doing? And knowing that the sky is the limit. Second thing I want to say quickly is that you must learn to persevere. I heard Marquis speak about perseverance. Everybody say perseverance. Sometimes we don't achieve much because we give up too easily. You have to learn, if you want good, your nose have to. Yes, man, you have to get your feelings hurt and still go on. When I was doing my PhD, boy, a man tell me, man, people seem to like you. Wayne, why don't you just leave this program and go back to your country? You have a master's. The PhD is not for you. Why don't go and make money? And that was a racist comment because I was black. I was the only black person in the program. And he was saying things that hurt me, and I didn't want him to see me offended. I left his presence, went into my room, and I cried. But I decided to continue in my effort for excellence. Are you hearing me? And so perseverance means to continue a course of action in spite of difficulty, in spite of opposition. When they fight you down, when bad mind reach you, and they're fighting you down, and they say you're not the right gender, young ladies, and they say you don't deserve to be here, don't pay no attention, press on nonetheless. And it means you also have to have the right people around you. Be careful of the company you keep. As you go through life, you're going to make mistakes. As you go through life, you may fail at something. You want people around you who can encourage you to get up again.
This is where the magazine ends for today, but if you would like to see more content like this, visit our YouTube page. We also have all the latest news and updates on our social media pages and on our website, which you can find at jis.gov.jm. On behalf of the entire production crew, I'm Theodore Henry. Thanks for watching.
This has been a production of the Jamaica Information Service, the voice of Jamaica.